This is a demonstration of how to engrave the top of a watch casing. This is how the casing is set in the tool. I've made these jaws to fit properly. And you can see that's how it's just sitting in there. I just made a couple of grooves. That was the easiest way to go. The part is very simply just laid right in there, put inside. And then just, it's hard to do it with one hand in the camera. And just tighten it right in place like so. That's exactly where it has to go. Go to our screen, and first thing I'm going to do is we're going to come and click our section area to engrave. That's going to turn on our little laser beam to tell us what the engraving area is going to be. And we have our little laser beam. It's probably going to be kind of difficult to see it. Going to zero out first. There we go. And it's telling us this is the plate where it's going to be. And we're going to use our motion buttons. And first we're going to do our top left-hand corner. Be sure to remove the engraving bit, because if you don't remove the engraving bit, it may crash. The prongs are sticking up. So we'll remove the engraving bit. Engraving bit's out. You can see a little laser beam. And you can see the beams right on top of the ring, top of the watch top. And we're going to give it a point there. We're going to click our check button, just like the instructions say. There's our check button right there. That's our first edge. Now we'll go to the other side. Same location. Bring it in there. Click the check mark again. And we have our engraving area. And that's it. Now the machine will go back to this home starting point. We're going to click on our gray area. And this is going to give our boundaries. So we cannot go outside the boundaries. And we're going to tell here from the edges how far away we want to stay for the borders, just like we do on Microsoft Word, exact same way. 0.04 tab. 0.04 tab. Nope. 0.04. Okay. So then we're going to give it the height of the text, and you can see it's quite small, so we're going to go 0.03, 30 thousandths height. That's probably a little high, but we'll stick with that for now. Then we'll do our typing. Stainless steel, enter, and then we'll give it some numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay, if you think that's too far apart, well, that's about the same as what you have there. So we'll take this, and we'll now send it to the machine. Oh, actually, we'll spread it out a little bit more too, so we can go back and edit that. If you click on here, you can grab the side and pull it a little bit out further. Or if you still think it's too small, you can double click on it. What turns red will change color. And we'll change this to 0.03035. Make it a little bit bigger. And the same thing with the bottom. We'll take this, we'll spread that out. Double click on it, we'll turn red. Up to the top. 0.035. Enter. So now we have it large. Just looks like a little bit too far out, so turn that just a little bit. Take that in a little bit. And we have our engraving area. I want to stay a little, that looks about good. I'm not going to play with it. So we're going to come back down to our engraving page. We'll go to our user settings. User settings tells us the parameters of the cutting. We're going to tell the machine that we want the head to come down 50 thousandths below the bottom level, which will give it spring tension. So this is never going to change. 0.05, 0.05. And once you've done all these alterations, it will stay. Now, we're on a curve, so we want to make sure the head comes up high enough. So we're going to change this to 0.04. 0.4. That's almost a little under half an inch in height. This way we know we cleared it. I'm going to press OK. We're going to shut off the engrave with the regulating nose because we're not going to be using that. We're going to be diamond tip engraving. This right here is set for the laser pointer. That's a center floating origin, and that's what we did with the laser. We're going to turn on our auto Z reference. We'll set the Z height all by itself. And Frankie, if you can hold that for me for a second. We're going to drop our engraving cutter into the machine. And we're not going to quite come to the top of the part. Right about there. Tighten that up. That should be good right there. Alright, thanks Frank. And you can see how high we are off of the top. That's all we need. And from there we're going to send the job to the machine. And we're ready to go. We'll press our green button on the machine. There's your green button right there. Machine's going to come down, self-centered, all by itself. Needed 600. 550 is the order. And that's it. It's engraving.
I'll get it.
It's still engraving. Now we'll do the numbers. That's it. We're done. I doubt if you're going to be able to see this or not, but it's all there. Try another angle, and that will do it. That's all there is to engraving these parts. Once you've finished and you like the way it goes, if you're going to be repeatedly doing the same item, you're going to come here down to your file save, and you're going to save the active file. And you can see it automatically comes up there with what you engraved. So next time you come here, you can always, all you have to do is just change the bottom numbers or whatever you like to do with it. And just type it stainless SS watch. And then save it. And that's it. It will come back to our job here. You can do all your editing. And our drop down box, if you need to do different types of fonts, whatever you want to do in here, you have all your different fonts that you want to select from. So if you want 3-line, 4-line, whatever you're looking for, it's there. There's about 25 different ones. And that is your engraving of the watch.